So we have a task force comprised of about 20 people who have put an incredible amount of work. So I'm simply here to represent the work done by other people. I've agreed temporarily to be the chairman of this task force, and I'm here to just give you a quick update. So background, in case you haven't heard about this before, State of California is planning to build a 500,000 volt transmission line from Imperial Valley, basically from Arizona to Orange County. And the point of this is to provide about electric power to about 1.5 to 1.5 million people in the LA basin. That's the purpose. At least one of the proposed routes includes crossing Palomar Mountain right through the center. Horizon West Next Era Energy was selected by the independent systems operator as the project sponsor over SDG&E. As you know, that SDG&E is our local supplier. They've been more communicative than Horizon West. In fact, we've met with Horizon West, and neither they or the independent system operators are willing to disclose either the primary or the alternate routes. We've met with them. I've met with them twice now, and they're unrelenting. So according to them, we will not be the information as to what the proposed routes will not be disclosed until next year, so early spring 2025. The problem with that is we only have a 30-day response window once that gets announced and approved. So basically what we're asking you to do is to take action now. So we'll tell you what that entails. Today we want to articulate a very clear strategy on how we'd like to move forward. This is a long-term play, so between now and next spring, we need to be very active. The line is not expected to go in until 2031, so it could be a multi-year effort unless we're successful in the next 12 months. So today I'd like to talk to you about the strategy we've put in place, introduce you to our task members. We're looking for more task force members and help from you, and answer any questions. So at the end, I'll ask all our task force members to come up, and if they have specific questions about specific areas, we'll cover those. Go ahead. Thank you. So there are 6 major approaches, but I want to spend a minute first on the one that is probably the most important. When we talk about private versus mutual versus public benefit of a project such as this, it's important to realize that private benefit, so for example, myself, I'd prefer not to have a 200-foot tower and a 500,000 volt line crossing my property. I think we all feel the same way. So our intent of this task force is to keep it completely off the mountain, not be on anyone's property. That private benefit, regrettably, counts nothing in terms of what the California Public Utilities Commission will decide, because it's too small compared to the benefit of serving 1.5 million people in LA. And that's the basis on which they will judge it. So you may be upset about it, you may not want it, but a singular voice without anything else is not going to be effective. Similarly, mutual benefit, all the people in this room have a mutual benefit of not having that power line. Once again, that doesn't count against the public benefit offered by the transmission line. So what are the 6 main areas in which we plan to engage? Public benefit, we'll talk a little bit more about that. We need your engagement in that, and that's the primary. We have to be able to show that the benefit of Palomar Mountain, not just to the residents here, all over Southern California, in fact, internationally, if you count the number of people come to the observatory, there are many aspects of public benefit, and we need to document those and communicate those to the CPUC. And we have a team of a lot of people working on that right now, and we need your help. The second, and I'm putting these in my preferred descending order of importance, is fire risk. So if you balance the public benefit that we're going to describe against the public benefit that Horizon West is going to prescribe, we have to subtract from their benefit the possibility of a fire, right? And I think you all know that in the last 10 years or so, California's had high voltage transmission lines fail, caused 6 major fires, $22 billion in damage, destroyed 25,000 homes, killed nearly 100 people. That's the last thing we want. But it isn't just Palomar Mountain, it's the surrounding area. Pala, Escondido, Julian, those are all potentially affected. So we have to not only show more public benefit, we also have to clearly enumerate all the dangers involved in fire. And Yvonne and her team are working on that. We have political aspects. We've talked to the individuals that are running for the District 75 State Assembly. This is a state organization that's approving this, so we need to be very careful about who we work with. We've obviously talked to Jim Desmond, who's our District 5 supervisor. We have an ecological or endangered species approach. Frankly, that historically has not been successful. We're certainly going to pursue that, but the reason why it's not successful is because CEQA is the California environmental laws do not necessarily apply in this case, and it's very simple for Horizon West to mitigate any damage they might do. So one of the tasks that they've done before is to say, well, we're going to take out 500 acres of pristine forest, but we're going to plant 2,000 acres in Bolivia or Escondido. And that is legitimate, and it will work in many cases. Historic Native American sites, we have a team working on that. And then finally, last but not least, is legal. We have a number of people working on the legal aspects. Obviously, that involves hiring attorneys, general counsel that work on land use and property. Again, studying the history of other groups that have fought initiatives like this, those typically only delay but cannot stop the action that Horizon West wants to do. So that could delay it many years. It's expensive. We'd rather not spend the money. We'd really rather stop the transmission line from going across Palomar on the merits of our public benefit and the danger of fire. You could bring up the next one. So here's our current team leaders. I'm going to ask them to step forward. We have the public benefit. We have people working on social media, public media. We have communications teams. Yvonne is leading the wildfire risk. Ray Carpenter and Amy Reichert working on political. Anyway, I think you can see the names. And we could go to the next one. So this is where the ways we need you to help. First of all, we need more task people. We need people to chase down specific avenues of approaches. So if you're willing to do that, contact anybody on the team. So we have a flyer that's being given out. Please circulate that. If you are a part of social media groups, please advertise and solicit their support, and we'll show you exactly how you can do that. If you see people coming on your property from an environmental group or perhaps doing surveying or whatever, be kind to them, speak to them, try to find out why they're there, and then report it to us. So Alex, one of our team members, has agreed to consolidate all that information. The idea here is to find out if in fact Horizon West is secretly or openly studying our land property use. And just to be very clear, legally, they do not have right of entry onto your property, so you don't have to let them on. This is please after you've talked to them and been nice to them, okay? So they say, well, I'm working for Horizon West and I'm doing a survey of your property. I'm sorry, you're not permitted. I'd like to see a warrant to come on. And then also, if they claim to have easement rights, you don't have to prove that they don't have easement rights. You can state, you can come on when you can prove to me that you have easement rights, and then of course report that to us. So it's really important to get all this information consolidated, and the task force will be doing that. And then finally, tax deductible donations to the PMPO. Next one. Whoops. Yeah, so actually if you go to the SavePalomarMountain.org, you'll go to the home page and it'll bring this up, Palomar Needs Your Help. And it's a way to submit a testimonial. So you click on that link, give your name, your address. You can submit photos, stories. We're looking for stories about people that have come up here and enjoyed the benefits of this majestic mountain. So please take advantage of that. Send it to your friends. Anyone that you know that's ever spent time on Palomar. We have Alex is also searching all the people that have come up here, and we're cataloging all of those together. So if you're interested in donating, PMPO, PMPOinfo.com, and you can donate PayPal, credit card, whatever. So questions. These are the people that are currently assigned on the task force. If you know any of them, contact them. They will put you in contact with whoever you need to speak with. If you have information that's relevant to this, we're obviously spending a lot of time on this, so please get engaged in some way. Yeah, to be clear, we can win this fight. I'm convinced after speaking to a lot of people who've done this before, we can win this, and it's through public benefit that we exhibit, and also the fire risk that Yvonne is covering is